Hello medicos, in this video I'll be going to discuss about the hindgut. Okay, see this diagram in which foregut, midgut and hindgut is shown. So in this video we'll be discussing about the hindgut. This is a schematic diagram of the gut tube. This is covered by a mesoderm, this side. We know that mesoderm does not cover whole area. At two places mesoderm is deficient, buccopharyngeal membrane and cloacal membrane, where the mesoderm is absent. There is only presence of ectoderm and endoderm. Okay, now this is an allantois. This is an allantois. Distal to the allantois, cloaca is present. Okay, distal to the allantois, cloaca is present. This is an cloaca. Okay, now we will be taking a section from this diagram to understand the hindgut. Okay, I'll take this section. Okay, now it look like this. This is an allantois. This is a total hindgut and this is a cloaca. Okay, now there is a septum which divide the cloaca into two: primitive urogenital sinus and primitive rectum. Okay, this is septa called urorectal septum. Septum. Now the primitive rectum form rectum and anal canal. Okay, primitive rectum from rectum and anal canal. Anal canal up to pectinate line formed by primitive rectum, and below the pectinate line formed by anal pit. See here, opposite to the cloacal membrane, the anal pit is formed. This is an anal pit, which is also known as proctoderm. It develop opposite to the cloacal membrane. And form the anal canal below the pectinate line. Okay. Now, next, coming to the congenital megacolon. It is an aganglionic condition which occurs due to the non-migration of neural crest cell to the distal part of the colon. Okay, it occurs due to the non-migration of neural crest cell to the distal part of the colon. So there will be no ganglion formed in the myentic plexus or Auerbach's plexus. So the parasympathetic supply is got inhibited. The parasympathetic supply is for fecal evacuation. So the fecal evacuation get inhibited. So fecal stagnation occur. During the digital per-rectal examination, when we do the digital per-rectal examination, there is dilation of distal part of the colon, which will lead to the sudden passage of stool. Okay, see here, this is an fecal stagnation. Okay, here is narrowing of distal part. Okay, when we do digital per-rectal examination, then the dilation of this narrower part occurred and lead to the sudden passage of stool. Okay, this is also called as Hirschsprung disease or congenital megacolon. Now, coming to the primitive urogenital sinus. What is urogenital sinus? We know that the urorectal septum divide the cloaca into two: primitive urogenital sinus and primitive rectum. Now the primitive urogenital sinus is, let's discuss here. Okay, this is a diagram. This is an allantois. This is an urorectal septum. Okay, this is an hindgut. This is an cloaca. Okay, now the urosectal septum divide the primitive urogenital sinus and primitive rectum, and the primitive urogenital septum get divided into two. First is vesico-urethral canal and definitive urogenital sinus. Okay, clear till this? Okay, next. Now the vesico-urethral canal get further divided into vesical part and urethral part, and the definitive urogenital sinus get divided into two: pelvic part and phallic part. Okay, the vesical part forms the bladder. Okay, bladder has two parts: the trigone and the remaining part of the bladder. The trigone formed due to absorption of the mesonephric duct. Due to absorption of mesonephric duct, the trigone is formed. Okay, but the mesonephric duct derived from the mesodermal. Okay, it is mesodermal in origin. So the trigone part of the bladder which is mesoderm in origin, and the remaining part which develop from the urogenital sinus, which is the part of cloaca, and the cloaca is the part of hindgut. Hindgut develop from the gut tube, so it is an endodermal in origin. Okay, the remaining part of the bladder is endodermal in origin, but the trigone is the mesodermal in origin. Okay, now next, coming to the urethra, we have two urethra, male urethra and the female urethra. Let's see the male urethra. This is an bladder, this is an bladder, okay, and the continuation is urethra. Urethra having three parts: prostatic urethra, membranous urethra, and penile urethra. Okay, this is an prostate, this is an prostate, this is opening of ejaculatory duct. Okay, now the prostatic urethra. Prostatic urethra develop from two parts: up to the opening of ejaculatory duct and below the opening of ejaculatory duct. Up to the opening of ejaculatory duct, it derived from the urethral part of vesico-urethral canal. It developed from the urethral part of vesico-urethral canal. Now, below the opening of ejaculatory duct, along with membranous urethra, it developed from the pelvic part of urogenital sinus, definitive urogenital sinus. Next, the penile urethra. Penile urethra is formed from the phallic part of definitive urogenital sinus. Okay, it developed from the phallic part of definitive urogenital sinus. Now the female part, female urethra, it developed from the urethral part of vesico-urethral canal and the pelvic part of the definitive urogenital sinus. Female urethra developed from the urethral part of vesico-urethral canal and pelvic part of definitive urogenital septum. Now the phallic part of definitive urogenital septum form the vestibules. Okay, form the vestibule. The urethra get completed here. Now coming to the allantois. What is allantois? It extends from the umbilicus to the apex of bladder. Okay, allantois extend from the umbilicus till the apex of bladder. Allantois get degenerate to form the urachus. Allantois get degenerate to form the urachus. It is also known as median umbilical ligament. It is also known as medial umbilical ligament, median, which extend from the same as allantois, which extend from the urachus to the apex of the bladder. Now, sometimes it remains patent. It remains patent, and the baby complains of, and the baby will passes the urine around the umbilicus. Okay, around the umbilicus. The mother comes to the OPD with the chief complaints of a baby. The baby passed the urine around the umbilicus. Then there may be the chances of patent allantois. Okay, these are all about the hindgut. Okay, thank you.